Good afternoon. I'm Gloria Nelson with TUG, and it is my pleasure to welcome you today to today's TUG Connects 365 program. As you get settled in and ready for the start of today's webinar, let me give a brief introduction to TUG, the usergroup.org, for both our current members and those of you who represent organizations that have not yet joined our online community of Infor distribution software users. We've all heard that phrase, knowledge is power, and I can say with confidence that after today's presentation, you'll be waking up tomorrow with a little more of both. But today is just one of our many in-depth sessions in our TUG Connects 365 series. TUG webinars, online forums, and member events facilitate the timely exchange of ideas and information to help you work smarter and with more confidence. Now that's a winning and powerful combination. If you're currently a member, it pays to get even more involved. And if you're not, please visit our website to find out why 2,300 heads are better than one to help you be the best at what you do. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome our first-time partner presenters today from EZlytix. We have with us today Sachin Bakai, who is the EZlytix CEO. And we also have with us, let's see here, we also have with us Roman Martinez Sr., who is a business analytics with EZlytix as well. So Roman, go ahead and take it away. And we have your PowerPoint in our sightline, so take it away.
Great, thank you, Gloria, and happy Friday. First of all, I'd like to hope and wish all your families and teams are safe and healthy during these scary times. I know the pandemic has had its toll, but thank you for all joining us today on this Friday, and welcome to our EZlytix webinar. My name is Roman Martinez, and I am proud to be a part of the EZlytix team and the great value we provide to mid-market businesses. I am joined today with my CEO, AKA the Data Wizard, who is a great leader and extremely passionate about data. And we'll be talking about managed analytics for Infor users and the 9 key growth strategies, and give a live demo as well. Again, thanks, Gloria, for everything you do and everything that TUG does. Our team is extremely appreciative of the opportunity to showcase our solution, and more importantly, the opportunity to help businesses in need of an affordable and user-friendly analytics product. Our goal is to help make the lives easy and increase productivity so you can spend more time analyzing your data and less time preparing and consolidating data. And in order to create these interactive experiences, I will be asking a few poll questions within the webinar so we can better understand you all. So please don't hesitate to choose an answer that suits your most accurate response to the questions. You know, as a former 7-year professional basketball athlete myself, I know the importance of competitive advantage. We are here today to talk about how distributors and manufacturers can leverage data to grow and compete, right? So let's bring that agenda slide in, please, if you could, Sachin. So we're going to start off with business pain points, you know, and then move on to what is managed analytics. And then what I'm excited about is 9 key strategies to grow and compete using data. And then we'll jump into our EZlytix demo so you can see how user-friendly and easy it is to use. And then we'll go over the benefits and summary. So we would like to understand where you are in your analytics journey today. So, you know, let's take a launch in our first poll question, Gloria, if we could. So where are you in your analytics journey, right? You can select one of the following. Again, I hope you guys and all your teams are safe and healthy. You know, I actually moved to Dallas because of the pandemic to be closer to my family. So I feel real close to, you know, everything that's going on.
And Roman, we have, I think, hit our saturation point, so I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and share the results with everyone. And it says that 17% of our online audience needs to invest in an analytics solution, with 83% who have already invested in the solution but have a long way to go. So there you have it. And is this a time where you want to interject and move to your question slide to see if there's anything that needs their audience would like to see answered today?
Gloria, I think we're gonna save the questions for a little later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Works for me. Go ahead.
Yeah. So these numbers, you know, it's really shocking, but it's a reality, you know. And if we could go to our next slide, that would be incredible. So we you know, in our research, we found that mid-market businesses, you know, lack the digital maturity to attain a competitive advantage, right? There's just so much great data we get out of Infor, and there's just so much more we could be doing to gain more visibility into our data, right? So, you know, 79% of businesses need help from IT and analysts, you know, which will hurt productivity and cost you money. You know, this shocking number, 7% use a self-service tool to help, you know, analyze data to make better business decisions, right? And the rest are simply winging it. They're not using data. You know, that's that, you know, low 18% that, you know, they need some help, but that's you know, that's why we're here. You know, as the workplace becomes less centralized and the world of digital everything, you know, continues to disrupt traditional business models, you know, having a technology in place, you know, like EZlytix or, you know, or other, you know, reporting solutions that are accurate and actionable data, you know, at your fingertips, you know, it really can be a game changer in today's business climate. So I'd like to introduce, you know, Sachin Bakai, our CEO, you know, great leader, and I truly appreciate being a part of the EZlytix team.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Gloria, for all your help with this webinar. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sachin Bakai. I'm one of the founders of EZlytix. To give you a quick Reader's Digest version of my background, I have worked for Oracle for several years implementing Oracle ERP and analytics. Then I had a consulting company for over 10 years implementing analytics for mid-market and large organizations. And about 4 years ago, we decided to start EZlytix with a simple goal in mind, right? We wanted to make sure that we make analytics easy, fast, and affordable for mid-market. So keeping that in mind, we wanted to make sure that our solution does all the way from data to discovery, right? So we take care of all your needs. Every company has data in multiple different systems, including their ERP system, their CRM system, custom applications. We have data in spreadsheets. So we wanted to make sure that we have a platform that we integrate data from all of these things and give users the ability to analyze. And our focus is mainly on the sales and the growth side. And what we notice is a lot of the salespeople, they have excellent analytics and reports that come from the CRM. But what they lack is the ability to blend the CRM data with the ERP data. You know, so this kind of they analyze their pipeline and stuff like that from the CRM, but it's very difficult to analyze data and understand their customers if you don't blend information from your ERP and your CRM. So our goal is to give the sales team the ability to understand their customers, ability to identify areas where they can increase their revenue, which products are working, in which territory are working, what product mix is working. And lastly, we want them to identify opportunities to improve their margins. So these are the common pain points that we see when we talk to the VP of sales, or we talk to the CFOs. Like, the data is in multiple systems, but they don't have access to real-time information, right? Whenever they need a new report, they have to depend on their IT team. And, you know, we all know that IT teams are already overworked. And most of the companies we work with a lean IT team, so it's very difficult. We need a new report, it kind of goes into the pipeline, and we need the report today, we get it in 2 weeks. Another area where we see that a heavy dependency on spreadsheets. You know, spreadsheets is a great tool, but we all know that we have outgrown spreadsheets, and spreadsheets, they have their own limitations in terms of security, in terms of data getting stale, like two people looking at two different versions of spreadsheets. So there's a big challenge in spreadsheets, and not to mention about the human error, right? If we could have a issue in the formula, it can mess up our analysis. the data sitting in silos, right? A lot of times, company to get a competitive advantage, in addition to their ERP and the CRM system, it is important to bring in a third-party data to see if they can correlate, to see how they're doing, right? If you want to do any benchmarking analysis, or if you want to understand whether how you're doing and capturing your market share. So it is important to bring in third-party information also that you can correlate. And lastly, any analytics solution that you pick needs to be self-service. So every time I'm looking at data, and if I want to look at it based on different dimensions, I don't want to go back to my IT team or run another report and then consolidate the data, right? To give you a quick example, if I'm looking at my profit and margins based on my product categories, and if I want to now look at it by brand within those product categories or by customer class within those product categories, I should be able to do it myself without the dependency on the IT team. So these are some of the key pain points that we constantly keep hearing, and that is the reason why we kind of designed EZlytix to make sure that we address all of these pain points. So how can you harness data to be profitable, right? That's the question, right? Because everybody captures a lot of data. So what we want to do is kind of share some strategies that has been defined by consulting firms like Deloitte and McKinsey's of the world on what should companies do in order to harness the data to be more profitable. So Gloria, can we launch a first Q&A to see if they have any questions so far before we proceed further?
My pleasure to join you on camera and to share with you some of the pressing questions that we have with our online viewers. How many years of history do you store is one of the questions.
So we typically, by default, we store like 3 years of history. But depending on your business, if you want us to capture or go beyond 3 years, we are happy to do that. But on an average, most companies, they want us to store 3 years of history that they can use to do some trend analysis, or if their business is seasonal, they can look at how the seasonality impacted over the past 3 years. So any other questions, Gloria?
Yes, I have a 1-2 combo here. Where do you store your data and how often do you sync it?
So we don't host anything. The entire solution is on Amazon Cloud. So everything is stored in the S3 bucket on Amazon Cloud. And we first time we do a full load, and after that we sync the data on a daily basis. So
those are the questions. Those are the questions that we have so far.
Okay, wonderful. So there are 2 ways to implement analytics, right? The traditional way is, there are 50 plus great tools available out there like Power BI, Tomo, Tableau, Domo, Burst. We can procure any of these tools and we put a team together. It takes about 6 to 8 months and we can deliver a solution, right? So this is a traditional way of doing it is kind of expensive, and obviously there are risks involved when you're going through a full-blown implementation cycle. So that is why what we recommended and what we designed is a managed analytics as a service, where we do it for you, right? It's a packaged solution focusing on mid-market, right? So sometimes you don't need a very expensive solution because you don't have that kind of needs. So we are focusing on mid-market. We give them the package solution and we take care of everything from data to discovery, right? So they don't have to invest in an in-house analytics team. So this diagram, it kind of shows, right? We integrate from multiple different sources. We have our own proprietary ETL system, which kind of extracts, transforms, and loads your data into a proprietary data model, right? So we do all the heavy lifting so that you don't have to worry about it. This includes cleansing and mashup. For example, if you have data coming in from 2 different systems, or if you grow through acquisitions, we can take data from multiple ERP systems and blend it into one. So our goal is we do the heavy lifting. You guys can focus on growth and profitability. So the end results is going to look something like this, right? So this is one of the dashboards that is very popular amongst a lot of our clients, where it gives them a quick overview of their sales, their costs, their margins. It has a 30-day cumulative report to see, am I going to make my month or not, right? A lot of times, the sales people, they have to wait till the monthly books are closed, right? Because by the time you close the books and share the results, it's kind of too late, right? So if you can track it on a daily basis to see whether you're going to make your month or not, it makes it easier if they want to make any adjustments, if they want to run any promotions. It just makes it easier to have visibility on a daily basis to see how they are against their target. This is another sample dashboard that we have that kind of gives you a quick overview of how many new clients we created, how many did we lose, revenue by new clients, open AR, late AR. So end of the day, right, as long as we have access to data, we can pretty much build anything that a client needs. So let's focus on some of the key ROIs, like using EZlytix. What our clients are seeing, right? They're able to increase their forecast accuracy. They're able to improve their margins, right? Even if some of the clients have seen margin improvement anywhere from 1 to 2% margin improvements, which is huge. It kind of helps them understand their customer behaviors better and kind of renegotiate the contracts with the manufacturers or with the suppliers. It also gives them the opportunity to reduce their customer churn, because now we have more understanding of what our customer needs, so we can proactively address those needs for our customers. The amount of time that they end up spending on building and collecting data and building those reports is reduced drastically, because we give them real-time access to the reports. So one of the CFO, the feedback that we got was that when we asked for a testimonial, he said that he got his weekends back to spend with his family, because he used to end up spending a lot of time over the weekend generating those reports. Now it's all automated for them. So Gloria, I guess it's time for our second poll.
I've gone ahead and launched that. And this is an opportunity for those of you who are with us to jump on and participate. We have a 57% vote response so far. And if you would like to go on, and don't be timid on your keyboard, there we go. Just a few more of you, if you can just jump on in and let us know where you're at in your analytics report needs, that would be great. All righty, I'm gonna go ahead and close the poll now with 71% of you online participating. And Sachin, I am sharing the results here, and we have no one who has less than 5 years experience. 20% of our online attendees have 20% between 6 and 10 years of experience, 40% between 11 and 20 years of experience, and then we have 40% who have 20 plus years of experience that are with us today in terms of how they're using the analytics report.
Okay, excellent. And I think this is a great time for us to see if they have any other questions in the question box.
Yes, we do have a couple more questions here. The first is, do you integrate with third-party data?
Yes, we do. And to give you an example, for a building products company, at a Windows company, we kind of integrated with the building permits issued by the counties, so it kind of helps them correlate with it. So third-party integration does not come out of the box, but if you let us know what data is meaningful for you, for your industry, for your business, we are happy to integrate with that data for you to correlate. Any other
Wonderful.
questions, Gloria?
Yes. How long does it take to configure?
Oh, that's a great question. Depending on your data and how much you have, what kind of configuration you have in your Infor system, what we have seen is anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks is what it takes us to fully configure EZlytix to work with your dimensions. That's a great question.
And one other question that we had posted that populated is, can I download and share reports easily?
Yes, absolutely. So I will show it during the demo as well. But all of our reports, you can export it into a CSV, a PDF, a Word, or an Excel. You can email to another user right from within the platform. And you can actually schedule broadcasts also. And by that, what I mean is you can create a schedule and the report can be emailed to you on the specific day and time that you pick. Yes.
That's great. And those are the questions that we have thus far. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Sachin, and I'm going to take a back seat to you now.
Okay, thank you. So now I think what we wanted to discuss was 9 growth strategies that the sales team needs. And these strategies are designed and defined by McKinsey's and the Deloitte's of the world, what salespeople should use in order to identify growth opportunities. The first one is discover, right? So it's basically important for salespeople to constantly look at which product, which brand delivers the highest margin, right? Which product carries the lowest cost, which products has better rebates from manufacturers, right? So it is important for them to constantly monitor these things on a weekly, monthly basis so that they can plan their day. The goal of all these strategies is to make sure that the salespeople are positioning the right product to the right customer at the right time and at the right price, because most of the distribution companies, they work on thin margins, so it is extremely important to capitalize on margins. It's also important for them to understand the upward and the downward trend, right? Because if they bought $100,000 worth of product in July and you're in week 2 in August and they've only bought like 20,000, so that's a red flag, right? So you want to constantly monitor their buying patterns to make sure that they buy more or at least the same quantity what they bought the previous period. So it is important for them to constantly monitor that. They also have to constantly identify any upsell and cross-sell opportunities. To give you a simple example, if you have classified your customers into customer class, and if Home Depot is buying $100,000 worth of products and Lowe's is buying only 20, so that is a red flag because they are the same customer class and they should have the same needs. So we need to figure out what is working with Home Depot that is not working with Lowe's, so our sales team can focus on that. Uncover is another great place where the management needs to keep an eye on what's going on. And by this, what we mean is two salespeople could be selling the same product in the same territory, but getting different margins, right? So we have cases where, companies, sometimes they decide to let go the poor performing salespeople, but most of the times they will actually figure out a training plan on how can we train that salespeople person to achieve better margins, right? So those are the things that it's going to help if you monitor it at the salesperson level. It also helps to put in some processes in place, because some people might be discounting too much and there would be any approval process in place on how much discount they are allowed to give. So it kind of helps them identify what are the areas where we need to introduce a new process. Test is another great strategy in which if you're introducing a new product in a new territory, you can do A/B testing and continue to monitor your sales for a particular 2-week period, or if you're running a promotion, you can run it for that specific time period and see the results, right? Sometimes it's better to discount a product to capture a higher market share. So test allows you to play with the numbers so that you can figure out what is the best way, what is the best approach for you. So similarly, it's if you don't measure, it cannot be improved, right? So it's important to constantly measure the impact on discounts and allowances. We have a limited amount of if-then capability within our tool. It does not come out of the box, but we can create an if-then model for you to see, okay, if you increase your margins by X%, how is it going to impact your sales? Or if you decrease your margin, are you going to capture additional market share? So we can build those if-then models working with you. I think we talked about identify where we can figure out which customer territory regions are working, what are not working. And sales, a lot of companies were hesitant in giving access to salespeople the ability to analyze on margins. But what we have seen is the more they are open with their salespeople, the better it is, because now the salespeople have the visibility in which products they want to sell that are higher margins so that they can focus better. And a lot of companies, they kind of tie their compensation accordingly. So it kind of helps to giving them the visibility also to the margins that the company is making. And lastly, you want to determine which are your least profitable product salespeople or customers. And it is not a bad strategy sometimes to actually fire a customer because you're losing money on that customer, right? So it is better to fire that customer so we can focus on better, higher, more profitable customers. So for all these different growth strategies, we had defined several different dashboards. So I'm just going to quickly give you an overview of some of the dashboards that we have. So this is one dashboard that comes out of the box that gives you the ability to quickly look at your Salesforce target by salesperson and constantly monitor it. Similarly, we have dashboards that the salesperson insights they use that kind of constantly gives them the ability to see their Salesforce's bookings, right? In this case, we have a lot of open orders, but they have not shipped. So if they're not shipped, they're probably not billed, right? So this is something that we want to constantly measure to see, how come we have orders in the past month that are booked but not shipped. This is the inventory report that kind of gives you a quick overview of how fast your products are turning. You can look at your cost of goods sales and your overall inventory turn to see how fast are you turning your inventory. We have customer insights dashboard, and in this dashboard you can very quickly see your top sales by customer and by parent. By parent, what we mean is if you're selling to multiple Home Depots and if you run the report as a parent, it can actually consolidate all the sales for Home Depot and show it to you in one bar. And if you click on it, it can drill down and show you the locations by various different Home Depot locations. We have another dashboard that was highly requested by our distributor customers. It kind of gives them a quick overview of the fastest growing customers, and they can run this thing for a specific period. The declining customers, the most costly customers. So it just makes it easier to visually see and make decisions accordingly. We also have a shipping dashboard out of the box that kind of helps the to see how you are on an average. If you're 90% and above, you're in 20% of the efficiency wise, you're in the top 20% of a distribution company. But if it is below 90%, this is something that you want to constantly look at and continue to improve. Another dashboard we have here is a spend analytics that kind of gives you an overview of what your spends are by buyers, by diversity types, and as I said, right, once we have access to your data, we can pretty much build any report that you would need. So Gloria, I guess it's time for our final poll.
And I have launched the poll, Sachin. Okay. And we love to see everyone participate in this last one. We are at 29%. Now we're at 57%. Let's see if we can get into the 80% category. Jump in on your keyboard, folks. It's an opportunity for you to be the opportunity for our viewers to be included here. All righty. I think that concludes everyone who is going to vote. So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and share the results. The number of applications that people are using, including the Infor SX.e platform, is 25% have less than 2 applications running, 50% have between 3 and 5 applications, and 25%, Sachin, have 5+ applications that they're running.
So I guess we have a good mix of users today. Thank you for the response. And so I just wanted to summarize before I go into the demo, right? With EZlytix, like what do you get? It's a cloud-based analytics solution that can be enabled in weeks. We don't host anything; everything is on Amazon, and we have role-based security. We automate your data integration from multiple sources, so you don't have to worry about extracting, consolidating the data. We automate your board reporting package. We have seen like a lot of CEOs and CFOs, especially for companies who are owned by private equity firms, they have a monthly or a quarterly obligation to report. So we actually automate the whole board reporting package for them, so they don't have to scramble, when it's time for a board meeting. And the board package is interactive. So if there are questions that they come up in the board meeting, they can actually analyze it and probably respond in that meeting. We act as your extended analytics team. So if you don't have an in-house team, or if you have a very lean IT team, we act as your extended analytics team. We have 80+ KPIs that are fully configured for you, and it will be configured based on your data in Infor and other applications. So it just makes it easier for you to analyze it and kind of hit the ground running. And we all know, right? Every company looks at data differently. Every business user has a need to look at data differently. So what we give them is probably like an 80% match. So we build custom reports at no additional charge. So annually, 8 new reports, we will build it for users at no additional charge, as long as we have access to the data. So this just makes it easier for users to, use our system. If they need anything new, they come to us, we build it. so they don't have to constantly look for budget or resources to build new reports. So let me quickly launch the demo. So in this whole pandemic, we are at the mercy of your home Wi-Fi. So I apologize for the little bit of delay in loading it. But our solution is extremely easy to use. We have training, but typically once we give an overview, most of our users are able to use it on their own. So to look at any report or to analyze any report further, all we need to do is click on the maximize button. All our reports you can toggle very easily between data and charts. I'm actually gonna pick one report and we're gonna drill down into it a little bit more so you get an idea of all the features available within our solution. So we're going to be looking at an item insight report that kind of gives us the visibility of how our sales are doing by item category. And as I said, I'm going to maximize this report so we can analyze it further. So once you open up that report on the left hand side, you will see a lot more options for you to analyze it. So this is a paint company. So all the dimensions that you see here are related to a paint industry. But when we configure it, you will see the dimensions over here based on what you have in your system. So this is paint company, and you can do it for whatever years you want. You can do it for fiscal quarter. If you want to do it within a fiscal quarter, you can do it for a specific month. You can, if you're running a promotion or something, you can do it for a custom date range. This is where it gets a little more detailed, where we can slice and dice it based on your item type, your item class, your item category. If you have various different brands, we can do it by brands. If you want to run a report for a specific item or a group of items, you can do that as well. So in this report, what we're seeing here is for the margins for gloss paint is a little lower, right? So we want to see why. So one option is we can click on it and it gives us all the different options the way we can drill down. So let's look at sales and margin by salesperson report. And once we see, what we notice is Ben and Betty, they're getting margins in the neighborhood of 15 and 20%, while everybody else is getting in the north of like 25 to 27%. So this is something that is worth having a conversation with Ben and Betty both. And so you have an option, right? You can either export this report into any of this format, or you can email Betty directly from here, the report, and you can pick the format in which you want a PDF or a CSV file. Or you can, you can actually chat with Ben and Betty right here from the system. So if they're not online, see a message. So you can chat with them directly from within the system. Another option is if you look at a specific report on a regular basis, you can schedule a broadcast for you. So this kind of allows you to schedule it and send it to a group of people group of people, and you can pick the date and a time when you want to send that report. If you want to get a little advanced, you can actually schedule alerts and delivery rules, which actually you can specify that if the margin drops down by a certain percentage, only then you want that report to be emailed. So you can specify such rules as well, so you don't get bombarded with reports, and you only are looking at the report when actually there needs to be an action. So I'm just, Gloria, we're going to spend like a couple more minutes. I know we are almost like at 45 minutes into the demo, so I'm just going to spend a couple more minutes and then we can go to Q&A. So another report that I just wanted to quickly show was on the customer insights. In this report, we are seeing, we can look at it and by customer classification or however you want to slice and dice your customers. So we're just going to change the flexible x-axis to customer name, and we're going to pick the parent as a customer parent and select the value of Ace Hardware. So what it's going to do is it's going to show us all the sales for Ace Hardwares, all the different locations that we have in Ace Hardwares. So what we notice is in this case, these two locations of Ace Hardware, we have close to like $150,000 worth of sale, but these two locations of Ace Hardware we still need to catch up. So it just makes it easier visually to see, and for the salespeople to see, okay, you know what, I need to focus on these two locations because, you know, they're the same customer, so they should have the same need. And we can again drill down deeper and look at it to see what are these locations buying from us, so we can get the detail at the invoice line item level. So it just makes it easier for our sales team to kind of focus, you know, on these two locations. So our goal is to give them the ability to analyze in however they want to do it. We also, if we have users who are pretty savvy about building their own reports, so we give them access to do it. Not all users get it, but if they want to build their own report, it is very easy to do it as long as you know what you're doing and you have access, you know, you have some level of SQL knowledge. So all you need to do is pick the data model, and then it's basically literally drag and drop, right? You can let's say pick a parent name. You can pick a contact name, and you can just drag and drop and create the report that you want to see. And then you can, once you have selected the columns, you pick if you want to add any drill down, or if you want to limit it by number of rows, and then you can immediately go into charts and pick the charts that you want to see. And by default, what we recommend is you always let the system pick the chart for you, and always leave this to auto, so that, you know, based on the data you have selected, the system is going to pick the right chart for you. And during my presentation, I spoke about creating a dashboard or storyboard for the boardroom. So that is very simple to do. All you need to go is into create and pick the storyboard. You just pick your title, subtitle, and you can actually upload your own template. And once you do that, you can drag and drop reports from here that you want to include it into the storyboard. And a PowerPoint presentation with interactive links to the reports will be built for you. And then you can share that storyboard. You can export it and share it with the users. So Gloria, that concludes my demo. In the interest of time, we can go to questions and answers if they have any.
Yeah, we do have a couple here. First question is, can we create custom reports?
Yes, we can create custom reports. As I said, we don't give access to everybody to do it because we do it for you. But if you have team members who are qualified enough to create the reports, we do give them access to create custom reports for the team.
And another question is, do you have data level security?
Yes, so we do have role-based security and data level security. So for example, if you have a salespeople for a specific territory, when he or she logs in, they will see data only for their territory. They won't see data for other regions or other salespeople. But when a VP of sales logs in, he can see everything for everyone who directly reports to that person. So yeah, we do have role-based and data level security. Any other questions?
Yeah, one last question that just populated is, do you have a try before you buy option?
Yes, we do. And depending on your needs, we can actually give you access to our platform, and you can play with the data that we have, like a dummy data. And if you want, and if you prefer, we can actually take a sample data from you, and we can load and configure it based on your sample data and give you access so that you can actually see the solution with your data. So yeah, we can enable the solution in either way you want. Okay.
Well,
Any other question?
That concludes the questions that we have, but I have one question for you, and that is, if someone wishes to reach out to you or Roman for additional information about the EZlytix product, what is the best way for them to get in touch with you?
They can actually email us or give us a call, or actually on our website also they have an option to sign up for a free trial, and they can fill out a form on our website as well.
And you want to just give an audible on what your website address is for us, Sachin?
Sure, absolutely. It is EZlytix.com.
Wonderful. Well, I want to say a special thank you to you and to Roman for joining us this afternoon, and a big TUG welcome to you, by the way. And also thank you to everyone who joined us online to watch this very provocative demonstration and insight into the EZlytix product. And hopefully it will help you with your analytics and measuring your growth and profitability. We'd like to invite those of you who are members of the TUG community to go ahead and further this discussion in the SX.e forum board. And for those of you who are not yet members, please visit us at www.theusergroup.org and join us today. And again, thanks for joining us. And everyone, as they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Okay, thank you, everyone.